Hi there, this is Venetian Vibes, and today we're going to do a pick a card reading all about their hidden feelings. So, whoever is the most on your mind, we're going to be getting into how they're really feeling about you. I'll also look into how they're acting towards you, and if there is a discrepancy between the two, I will get a few cards on why there is. Are they acting different than they are feeling? So, before you, I have 3 decks. Each have a clear quartz on top facing a different direction. And I will give you just a minute to cue into these decks and see which one is for you. Okay, so if you need more time, go ahead and hit pause, and then you can have all the time you need. Other than that, I will see you at your reading. Welcome to pile number 1. Here's your little quartz crystal. I'll put it here. Okay, so I have this deck mostly shuffled already. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more right now for you, and I'm going to today have the cards fall out from my hand as opposed to laying them out purposefully. So that's kind of my plan. Doing it a little more freestyle today. And if you don't like to wait for the shuffling, go ahead and fast forward. Okay. All right, those are their true feelings for you. I'm going to get a few cards for their actions, how they act towards you. Okay. We have the 7 of Swords on the bottom of the deck, Lord of Unstable Effort. So, I mean, that's definitely the card of hiding, someone who is hiding something. The 7 of Swords is represented traditionally by a man who is stealing swords under the night sky. So it's representative of all things that are hidden and unknown. And that's kind of the energy of sneakiness generally. So I'm going to start with how they're acting towards you. And then you'll get a good idea of whether this reading is for you because you know how they're acting. Okay, so we have the Tower in the reverse, the 8 of Wands, and the Empress. Very interesting. Okay. All right, so it looks like they do, when they do talk to you, it's a very quick communication that that kind of comes out of nowhere. Maybe it's just like suddenly they're hitting you up, and there's a lot of energy behind it and even enthusiasm, but then it then it doesn't seem to be something that's very stable or long lasting. Like you don't get a sustained, consistent communication with this person is just very, very unstable, in and out type of thing. Very direct when they do hit you up. It's very direct, but it's just that directness isn't really sustained. So it's probably leaving you very confused. The Tower in the reverse. So that's about avoiding a change. I'm thinking that their behavior is very avoidant here, with also the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords underneath. I think that they have issues with being on an equal playing field, or being sort of just having a connection that is where two people are equally coming together with equal give and take. They become very suspicious. They're a suspicious-minded person, and I think that they actually want to be someone who's receiving all of the attention, with the Empress here, all about receptivity. So it can be a little bit confusing, I would think, with this avoidant. When the Tower arrives in the reverse, it's speaking towards about someone who is very avoidant of change, and they avoid obstacles and anything that could actually get them kind of get one of those little light bulb moments where you're suddenly realize something. Anything that could actually create that type of energy, so like a shift in thinking, a shift in even experiences, they tend to avoid. So it's just their personality, and so they're doing it with you as well. It looks like they like to receive quite a bit with the Empress card, like I said, but it's probably very confusing because sometimes they'll come in with very quick communication, coming in very direct, and there's a fiery energy with this Empress, and this deck has some fire too. Has a little bit of fire too by her throne. So it's a fiery Empress in this deck. And I think that there is, I think there's probably a difference of love languages here. And I think both parties feel like they're not getting enough from the situation, which is interesting. I'm going to move on to how they're truly feeling. We have the High Priestess, more feminine energy. Eight of Cups in the reverse. And the Two of Wands in the reverse. All right, so their feelings for you is that they feel very spiritually connected to you. But they feel like either they're not fulfilling you or you're not fulfilling them. They might feel, this person might actually feel like you're not giving enough to them, which is interesting that they think that, because I'm getting a sense that you, as the person watching this reading, feel that way about them. That's sort of the energy I'm picking up on. So you might be mirroring them and feeling that way. We have the Two of Wands here. So the High Priestess, like I said, she's reflecting in the feelings position. Someone who feels they feel very spiritually connected to you. They probably dream about you, like literally have dreams about you. And they probably feel like there's a psychic connection or an energetic connection that's kind of beyond words. And sitting below the Eight of Wands, I'm almost getting that for some of you, this person, this would be for a very spiritual crowd, but this person is almost tries to communicate with you telepathically or energetically. That's for a select few of you who are much more spiritually inclined. And that's sort of like the level that you are operating on, like with energy. but it's about these bonds that we have, these energetic ties that we have, and an inability to move on from them, even when feeling unfulfilled. With the Eight of Cups here in the reverse. So they don't seem to be moving on. I think they've decided, and it might be that you're wondering if they have, but it seems like they're more deciding to figure out, to try to gain, I guess, maybe a spiritual connection, or maybe to see, it's just kind of hang on a while and see if it lasts or if it fades. Like sort of maybe not reaching out very often and seeing if they sort of what that brings up for you, and if you end up reaching out to them, or even if they still continue to feel a connection, like a spiritual connection after a certain amount of time. They're trying to test whether it'll fade or not for some of you guys, which is kind of interesting. And then we also have the Two of Wands in the reverse. So they feel like the passion is only one-sided. So it's either that they have it or you have it. And if they have the Eight of Wands as their action towards you, I think they do have it. So it's almost like they feel like you're uninterested in them and that you're not giving very much to them. They might even be feeling like you're want to move on. It's interesting. There needs to be a moment of coming together and really expressing feelings. Obviously, there needs to be more expression of how you guys are really feeling, because it doesn't seem to, the passion isn't really translating very well between you two. I am going to get also a Lover's Oracle card to get their feelings for you a little bit more. Okay, got two cards coming out. These are the ones I feel that Spirit wants to show you. So I'll show you the covers. Okay. So you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there's always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. And give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. That's interesting how these both have this message of a blessing will soon be revealed, and give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. This person seems to be waiting for you. Like I said a bit earlier, they aren't really moving on, but they feel either unfulfilled or like you are unfulfilled. And it'll be different depending on for each situation. This is a general reading after all, but there's definitely this clear message of not feeling fulfilled right now, but believing that it's going to happen, that you are going to move towards them with this Empress energy. They want to receive you. They want to be the person who you are giving your energy to, and so it looks like they do have these quick moments of communication, but in really it's almost based off of, I don't know, just being impulsive. The word I want to say is desperate. For some reason that word is coming to mind. So I wonder if you are, I kind of want to get a card for how you're acting towards them, to be honest, because I feel like whatever is going on, I don't know if some of you guys are separated, physically separated, and there's a reason you can't actually come together, and it could be obviously what's going on in the world with COVID right now. It could easily be something like that for some of you, because this is I'm seeing cards about traveling, and the Two of Wands is in the reverse, so that would be like unable to meet, to come together for some of you guys. And so they're just waiting, and they think that something's going to happen, but they seem to think that you're acting detached. So I'm going to just get a card for how you're acting towards them, just to make sure that I got, just to see that that's what is happening here. Okay. So for your side, we have the Six of Cups. This does point to a reconciliation, but the fact that it's here shows that there has been distance, because you can't really reconcile with someone unless if there's been distance. So it does seem like there is separation at this time, and that your energy is not towards them, and it may be agreed upon for the reason why, like I said, could just be pragmatic reasons. And maybe this Tower is about avoiding, they're literally trying to avoid something, like, you know, I'm obviously we have a pandemic going on, and I'm not going to just pretend that that's not happening to do these love readings, because they end up, sometimes it does interfere with the energies happening in your lives. So when it does come up, I don't want to skirt around it. I mean, it just seems like for some of you that really is a real issue here with the avoidance. They're trying to avoid something bad happening, which, well, I mean, maybe this person's like a high risk person, or you are. And so, but they're waiting for this reconciliation. But I guess in the what I would say is for their feelings is, so they're only really feeling right now an energetic tie to you, and they're not feeling anything more tangible. And I think that they're also feeling like there is, that they can't move on, but maybe for some of them there's a desire to, for whatever reason. But they're just trying to wait it out and see if the feelings go away before they actually just cut things off. Yeah, and then with the Two of Wands, like I said, it seems to be a not being able to come together. This is about feelings. So where is the passion? Is the passion going both directions? Because I think they're feeling like it's not coming in from you. So I am feeling inspired to get one more card for you. The message, I've given you the messages that the spread would like me to convey, but I want to get a card for one more card for their feelings, and it's going to be from the Dreams of Gaia deck. So I'd like to get another deck's perspective, and then I'll read it. I'll read that to you. This person feel about, like, what are they feeling? What are they feeling? And then we have Queen of Fire, more feminine energy. Here we have High Priestess, the Empress, and then now the Queen of Fire. So lots of feminine energy. This person doesn't have to be a feminine person, but they are coming through with that type of vibe right now. So this sitting in with their feelings is a very clear sign that they are feeling this sense of passion for you and interest. So I think it is with what I was saying about how they almost feel like you're not interested or feeling passionate about them, and they're wondering if they should move on. And they're just seeing if the spiritual connection dies over time, instead of just directly cutting things off. For some of you, that's what's going on here, or for many of you. So I'll read the Queen of Fire card to you, and that will close our lovely little reading. And this is a new channel for me, so I welcome all comments and likes if you enjoyed it. If you could like hit that like button, that would be great. But I really just appreciate you watching you watching this is fantastic. I love getting these readings out to the collective. Okay, so here is our Queen of Fire. So this is for how they're feeling about you. The Queen of Fire is a strong and powerful woman. She is someone who's not afraid to go after that which she desires most. She is focused and determined and very optimistic. Those around her find her charismatic and engaging. Her warm and expansive nature draws people to her like moths to a flame. She is also a very primal, sensual woman. She engages her senses in all that she does. She is the type of person who will always look you in the eye, will reach out and touch your hand and listen closely, giving you all of her attention. She savors life like it is a glass of fine wine or velvety dark chocolate. She is vibrant, alive, and unforgettable. She has the power to change your life in the moment you first meet her. So this is describing either the person who's on your mind, or it's describing you, because this is their feelings for you. So it can really go either way with these general readings. Just depending on your situation, you should know if this is you or the person who you're thinking about. Okay, she has the power to change your life in the moment you first meet her. All right. Your independent nature, her independent nature makes her a natural leader, not a follower. Her confident and self-assured manner has her achieving all that she sets her mind to. And because she is so embracing and kind, and not interested in competing with anyone, she is loved by many. A natural extrovert, she loves being the center of attention, but she also gives her attention in equal measure. So she's trying to do, this person or you wants to do an equal give and take, but there seems to be something preventing that, whether it's pragmatic or it's about emotions. Both people may be wanting to feel like they're receiving more, if that makes sense. Okay, so when the Queen of Fire appears in your reading, she is asking you to be optimistic and positive. Now it is time to focus on the pleasures of life and enjoying what you do. Be bold and be daring. Be fearless. Now is not the time to second guess yourself or allow doubts to prevent you from acting upon an idea or plan that you know will bring positive change and growth to your life. She also suggests that you seek out a Queen of Fire type if you need help. She has a vast network of friends and associates, and she is only too happy to point you in the right direction if you are looking for aid. Don't be afraid to ask for her guidance. This queen is the kind of person who takes just as much delight in another's success as she does in her own. The Queen of Fire symbolizes living a full life and being fully present in every moment. Live a sensory life. Stimulate your senses, all of them. See, hear, listen, touch, taste. Your senses are a true gift. Put them to use. So that last bit was especially important because I think that there is a lack of that happening. I think that there is some sort of avoidance. They are avoiding something because they don't feel safe. And I would say because it's about their actions towards you. They're trying to avoid getting hurt in some way, so they are maybe avoiding trying to actually consistently make something happen, or maybe they're reaching out like just online, but you're not meeting up in person. So there is a lack of, like that was mentioned in the very last bit of that full sensory experience. So you're definitely not getting the full experience with this person. So I'm thinking maybe everything is done over the phone and online, but there's no actually physical coming together that's happening, and there seems to be a avoidance, whether pragmatic or emotional, that is preventing that. But they really do want to receive your attention, and they feel like they're not receiving it. They're coming through as very from the feminine perspective. So even if they're male, they're still behaving in that way where they want to receive things from you. And so it's probably confusing for you because you're expecting that as well. But I would also like to just make sure that with these cards that came through on the bottom before, they're different now because I shuffled a bit, but there was the Five of Swords, so they might be expecting more, to be able to receive more than they are actually willing to give, with there being shown a lack of balance and a need for them to somehow feel like they're getting more out of the deal than you are. So definitely put that to mind, and if you feel like that's going on and you feel unfulfilled, then if this is what I'm saying is speaking to you right now, then it's definitely going to be important to not just because you like them so much, not to give in and literally give more than what you're getting. So that's a message for some of you. So I've gone over all of the messages for this spread. They do feel a lot of passion for you, or at least view you in this light as this very, obviously if they view you as this Queen of Fire, then they view you in a very positive light, because this is a very positive, very, very beautiful figure. So that's good. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. Okay, till next time. Welcome to pile number 2. Okay, so you might notice the lighting's a little different from the intro, and that's just because my light bulb popped. So I'm working with a little bit less light, but in a way I feel like things look more clear than they did before. Okay, so we're just gonna go with it. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. I've already shuffled, but I'm going to just finish that off. This is the quartz you chose right here, very pretty. My sister got that for me from Vietnam. Okay, so yes, I've already shuffled. I'm going to just, I'm going a little more casual today, just going to see what falls out for you guys, okay? So I'm going to get 3 cards for how your person is really, truly feeling about you. How do they really feel? Let's see what comes out. It was definitely more than 3 cards. I'll take the top 3. And I'll use the rest as clarifiers if I need them. Oh, I see what they did. Okay, they gave me the 3 for how they're actually acting towards you as well. I kind of just got them all at the same time. Okay. Yeah, so this is how they're acting towards you, and this is how they're feeling towards you. Okay. I'm going to start with how they're acting. So you'll know for sure if this is your reading, because you know how they're acting, right? So in the center we have the Star, a very beautiful energy. The Page of Swords, they're being very direct, aren't they? And okay, the Seven of Swords in the reverse, so maybe not so direct, which would make sense on why you're feeling called to this reading. It is interesting to have the Page of Swords, which typically represents someone who is giving clear messages, but being the page, it is more of a young energy. Not to say this person is actually younger than you, but it could be that their messages are not super substantial. They might just give like a little bit of information here and there. I think that they are very hopeful for their connection with you, and I think they've shown that they are hopeful. But it is also interesting that they are feeling hopeful, because that implies that things aren't necessarily where they would like them to be. If they're feeling hopeful, that means that they want things to be a little different in the future than they are now. That's what hope is. Hope isn't about what you already have. We have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. I would like to take a clarifier for that, because it could mean many, many things to have this card present for their actions. It definitely represents deceit a lot of the time, but before I really get into what that means, I will get a clarifier for the Seven of Swords. Okay, so we have here the Ten of Wands in the reverse to clarify the Seven of Swords. I think that this energy seems like this person is a little bit avoidant. They feel like having a connection is a bit of a somehow burdensome in some way. They feel overwhelmed, and so they become very dodgy. Their actions are, they like to put up a front that they are direct, and in that they are communicative. But I think that they're not really saying much. They seem to act like they are. And if you probably were to call them out on feeling like you're not getting good communication, they would probably believe that that's not true. But I think that they just don't seem to be able to focus their attention on you completely all the time. It makes them feel overwhelmed in their life. I think they're in the end, they're kind of self-focused. Maybe they're self-focused on their own dreams. Yeah, they're self-focused on their own dreams and their own hopes and desires. It could be that they hope for something more in the future, but something is preventing that. Maybe something that needs to be completed first. Being at the Page of Swords is a very, like I said, I said young energy, but it's basically an energy where something isn't completed yet. Once you get to the Kings, it shows a sense of completion, and a sense that someone has a foundation and is kind of sturdy in their place in life, or that's how they are within a relationship. That's how they behave. But for this person, it would seem that they are more at the beginning stages of something, and so it's requiring a lot of their attention. Yeah, I'm going to move on to how they're actually feeling, okay? All right, so we have the Three of Cups in the reverse. Six of Wands in the reverse. And Justice. The tides have changed. Okay. It's interesting that we have the similar coloring here with the purple in the center. So what does this person think What justice does this person feel like they're getting with you? Something that has to do with a failure. I think this person actually wants you to fail somehow. Or they feel like that would be justice, as if you don't get what you want. It would seem that they're harboring a lot of resentment towards you. For some of you. Some of you, they're harboring a lot of resentment. But it doesn't seem like they're seeking revenge. I think they feel torn between what lifestyle they want to live. And they feel like there's no way to ever win with you. And maybe that's why. It looks like you guys, you've had some arguments in the past. You've had some arguments in the past and some struggling that has made them a little bit resentful. And so they feel, I think some of them think that you're seeing someone else. It could be that they are. Unfortunately, with these two cards here, it indicates with the Three of Cups in the reverse and the Seven of Swords in the reverse. I'll pull one more for the Three of Cups, though. It would seem that they feel very burdened by trying to have a connection with you. They don't think it's going to be successful. Oh, that's interesting. The Page of Pentacles came out. I was on the bottom of the deck earlier for this reading, and I looked at it at the bottom of the deck, so it's now come out. And this is another page. So we have another page here. This is not an energy that's going to be very good for commitments or for creating a foundation within a connection, because they're focused on their coin. They're focused on their this person has a book here. So they're focused on either literally some form of learning, or they're focused on some type of information, a job that requires a lot of research, something that is consuming their time and energy. And here they're focused on the coin. It's money, 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 money. Some of them might have a creative project going on. But it looks like I don't think, despite the cards being on the board that typically would represent somebody who's seeing someone else, I think that they are actually just not able to have any. The Three Cups, when it's upright, is talking about really having good time with people, being in the mode of celebration and enjoying life and being social. And I'm thinking, since it was reversed, we have this kind of sense that they can't engage with that. And seeing these two pages here so clearly focused on money, finances, some sort of information, learning something, that they're not in that space where they can really create connections. But with the star above it, it seems like they're hoping for a future. So they're remaining very passive in the present, in those terms of connecting with others, but they're hoping in the future that things could maybe change. But they're feeling very like they have to be very dodgy, because they just don't have, they seem to have like some resentment that they can't really work out, and do not have the time or energy or focus to do so. But with this Justice card, it would seem that they have something. I'll take a clarifier for it, but I can just tell with it being on the board next to these reversals that they feel like they've been made to feel like they can't be successful having a connection with you. So they, I don't know, with the Justice, they want you to feel that too. And we have the King of Swords, so that's typically an air sign. You might be dealing with a Libra, a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. And Eight of Swords, so they're feeling very conflicted with their thinking and their thoughts. This being, I think from one perspective, and you can see that the King has his sword here. The King of Swords has his sword right here, and in the Justice card, she's holding the scales by the sword. So it's about cutting people out and feeling like they deserve it, but also part of them feeling very, with this card here, you can see the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords person is stuck in their thoughts, feeling trapped in their thoughts, and honestly, a lot of times emotions as well. And it is self-inflicted. I mean, of course, the world and we think because of the world around us, but in the end, it's about feeling entrapped, but kind of the entrapment being more so in your mind a lot of the time. And you can see this person is thinking, even right here, they're thinking. And so I'm getting this and now I'm actually getting called to the fact that this is a mirror that this girl's looking into. And so I think this person is viewing you as the person in this mirror, because you guys are mirroring each other, but instead of realizing that they are the ones feeling sort of entrapped and having all of these conflicting feelings and thoughts that aren't really helpful to the situation, they view you as being the one who is completely like kind of like you have no logic, and you're just sort of trapped in your own mind, and I guess illogical would be how they might describe you, or someone who's very difficult, someone who doesn't see things clearly, that type of thing. I think that that's how they might view you, but really, like I said, as a mirror. So they're seeing you that way because they refuse to see themselves that way. But they think that they're this bringer of justice. And I don't love seeing this energy. Their feelings are just that, what I've said, but I mean, just with the Six of Wands, it kind of says it all. It's someone who feels like they just cannot win. There's no path to victory. Upright, this card is all about victory. It is all about victory. In the reverse, they just feel like there is no hope for that. No, I don't think they're seeing someone else. I'll pull a Lover's Oracle for their feelings for you to get a little bit more clarification on that, okay? Okay, I got one. She fell to the ground. Okay, got it. So we have trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. Seeing the... Okay, well, we do have a 10 up here. I think that they want to end things. Because the 10s often represent the completion of a cycle. They want to end things. They don't want to feel like they have to be dodgy and escape sort of a connection with you because they're just kind of afraid and stuck in their head, and they don't have the time or energy and things like that. And they sort of want to end that cycle of having to do that. And I think they want an ending here. And I think that they believe if they can accept that it's not going to work out, so if they can accept that they can never win or be victorious having a connection with you, or things can never really go well, and victorious can be just about things, feeling content and happy with someone and feeling heard and respected. And if they feel like that can never happen and they accept it, then they might start to transform in the sense of being able to move on. I get a sense that that is what's going on here. I can make sure. I can double check that for you. Oh, okay. Well, got the Ace of Cups here. The Ace of Cups is a very beautiful card to come out, but it is all about self-love. If this were the Two of Cups, it would be more demonstrative of someone who wants to connect on a heart level with somebody else. But since it's the Ace of Cups, it means this person is working on their own self-love. They're just focused on making themselves happy and dealing with those inner, they're trying to avoid things. They're trying to practice self-love by avoiding things that are going to be painful for them. And when we don't have success within a connection and things working out and feeling, this is about respect, you don't feel the respect and you don't think that you'll get it, then you would take measures to avoid it. So that would be a practice of self-love. So I think that that is what this person is trying to do. Yeah, so that is, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to pull one oracle card for you, and it's going to be in the form of advice, and I will read to you the meaning of it, and then we'll close our reading. I know it wasn't probably what you want to hear, and I didn't go super in depth, so you can check out your I do monthly readings for each sign, and I have one or two, I think two pick a card readings up. This is a new channel that I've just created, so I'm just building it, and I'm going to be getting more readings out to the collective. I will be doing more love readings and more pick a card readings. So things change, and I'm going to get just some advice for you for your life and handling this love situation. So let's see what comes out here with the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Okay, and out has come two. We have relaxation and love. Okay, which definitely is linked to this Ace of Cups card here. I will read them both to you. Okay. So interestingly enough, this is saying the harvest moon. You can see right there, harvest moon is being represented in this picture here. And we just had the harvest full moon. This is our most recent full moon. It was on October 1st, I believe. So that's kind of interesting. So when you receive this card, relax, all is well. No need to strive or push to get ahead. beneath the surface of life, everything is gently propelling you in the right direction. You can lay down your burdens and simply unwind. Slow down and allow calmness to fill you. When you relax and relinquish control, your intuition expands and you create the space for your spirit guardians to help you. Additionally, it's vastly easier to heal and have positive outcomes in life when you are rested and not filled with worry and a need to control outcomes. Lie back, stretch out, and watch magic unfold in your life. All right, so this is obviously calling you to relax, but it's not so much relaxation of the body, which I mean it is, but it's really speaking towards relaxing your mind and not getting trapped within all this overthinking and overanalyzing. We need to somehow, like, I guess, practice it maybe the Buddhist way is when you notice yourself thinking your thoughts and you're analyzing, kind of spiraling, you can just like allow it to roll off like a wave, and then it'll leave, and then it might come back, and then you do it again, and then over time it comes less often. Something like that, where it's just about it's kind of interesting because we're talking about letting go of control. And so I think that you are probably feeling very controlled by your own thoughts, because your thoughts are about, but it's kind of ironic because your thoughts are really about controlling situations around you and wanting things to go your way and figuring out, but so your thoughts are trying to figure out how to manipulate things or to control, to, you know, like moving pieces on a chessboard, figuring out how you can do this or that, and how, and this person might respond this way if you do it this way, and so you're trying to strategically plan out the way to get the best outcome. And then by that process, though, you start feeling controlled by your thoughts because they spiral and you have a hard time relaxing because your mind is running a mile a minute. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic there with yourself and your thinking. But you're really, those thoughts are there because they want you to find love, and that part of you is probably injured part of yourself that feels like obtaining something that is through strategy and however you can is, but the actual obtaining it is how you win and how you become victorious. But in the end, it's really just causing control issues and an inability to just sort of just exist and be kind of happy with where you are in life. So that's kind of what I'm feeling from that. I'm getting that these two cards are connected to the Six of Wands in the reverse as well, because I'm getting these colors are striking me, and I'm very visual, and when I get struck by color, it is a message for me. So we have these connections being made, and it's about victory and success and feeling fulfilled by defeating a situation. So if and it involves love. So if the situation is, I want this person to love me, then by defeating it, it is getting this person to tell you that they love you or to act like they love you. And so it'll take so long and so much thinking and so much pain, so much added pain when they don't, because you feel like it means you're a failure. So we have to somehow reach this acceptance in things, and just accepting, I guess, yourself and as you are, and without needing validation or love from a specific person. Because if you really have it within yourself, then the people who come into your life, they will obviously feel that for you too, because it's just kind of the vibrational match type thing. So you won't feel such a urgent need to get it from this specific person, because that obtaining is about obtaining it and feeling this success in the obtainment of it. I'll read the love to you. The love card. Okay. Love is all around you. Love is coming into your life. You are already more cherished than you can possibly know. Indeed, you are a sacred vessel for love to flow through you when you can stand in the center of it all. All is well, no matter what is happening around you. You know that you are loved and you are lovable. You know that there is nothing that you need to do to deserve love. You are enough just as you are. The Creator is love, and in the depth of your soul, you are love. In matters of the heart and romance, so these two are very connected. Okay. Okay. In the matters of the heart and romance, all is healing or is already healed. In terms of self-love, your confidence and self-esteem are growing as you take time to cherish and care for yourself. Care for yourself. Cherish and care for yourself, as shown in the relaxation card. So this is in the reverse here, because you do not feel victorious unless you get a specific person's love who is difficult to obtain or to have. This person. So if you can tell, these cards at first were about them, but then it is how it works, where they come out and they will mean one thing, but they mean many things. And so all of the messages that you are meant to hear will come out in just these few cards, especially with a love reading like this, because it's usually that the two people are mirroring each other. So we'll have all these cards representing their thoughts and feelings, but then they also, in a certain way, will represent yours as well. So I think this card was expressing things as they are as the present, like you are cultivating love for yourself, and it was kind of speaking like that. But I think for most of you, this is something that it is now what needs to be focused on doing. So we probably don't have that yet for most of us watching this, but we are now given the opportunity to cultivate that, and it would seem like it's through an ending. I will get a card for this person's future actions for you. I don't think that they're feeling so much different than they are acting towards you. I think that they are pretty, their actions and their thought and their feelings are somewhat in alignment, but I think that their feelings are a little bit deeper in the sense of having this like sense of resentment and this need. It's not like a need to crush you, but it's like this need to, they don't want you to win at something. They view your connection like this battleground, and they're trying to seek high ground, but they're trying to, they think they need to escape it. They don't want to fight, but they view it as a battleground, so they're trying to escape. So their feelings are much more dramatic than how they're acting. They're acting very dodgy and probably have tried to end things. But their feelings go very, very deep into the sense of principle and what they believe they deserve. So I don't know what you did, or if you did anything to justify this their feelings this way, but that seems to be how they feel. So I will get one more for their future actions towards you. I'll do for like, you know, the next few weeks to a month. We can get an idea of how they'll be acting towards you in the next 2 weeks to a month. The next few weeks to a month. Let's see. All right, so we have the Ten of Swords, which is what I was saying before about an ending. I was saying how the tens represent completions, and the swords is about the ultimate ending, because it is traditionally shown as someone with 10 swords in their back, and it is something that's over. They are deceased. It is over. So I don't feel them making any moves towards you. They are trying to walk away, and they are trying to end in the connection. So that is what I'm getting, at least for within the next month for you guys. And underneath is the Eight of Wands in the reverse, indicating a blocked communication. So yeah, I hope you take this advice in stride, and that you start cultivating a better sense of self-love. And this is all, life is a learning hologram. So as painful as things are, and I understand that they can be very, very, very painful, it is still, I think my candle's light is getting lower, so I feel like the situation is lowering your energy due to the overthinking it's causing you, and I guess probably the emotional pain it might be causing some of you. And it is very hard, and it takes time to, like, it sometimes can happen really fast, where we have like that dark night of the soul and our energy, a big energy shift, but it usually does take some time, and it takes a catalyst to achieve greater self-awareness and spiritual growth. And it can be a very painful, resistant-based process. But you're being urged to, I guess, just relax, and this person is hanging out with themselves and just enjoying the connection to the elements. I think the next full moon is going to be something that's important to pay attention to. I set some intentions for the hunter moon, or the harvest moon, and I think the next one's the hunter moon, and it's on Halloween. It'll be a very powerful time to connect with yourself and with spirit, and to try to cultivate some of this self-love that we are seeing here on the board. So I hope this has helped. I know it wasn't the most pleasant message, but ultimately it'll be a very good, I guess, a good thing for you to cultivate more self-love, and for the person that you were watching this reading for them to cultivate some self-love as well. So I hope this helped. Okay, all right, till next time. Hello, and welcome to pile number 3. So you chose the third clear quartz. Okay, very cute. My sister got me these quartz from Vietnam, and I very much like them. They're small, but pretty powerful in their own way. Okay, so I have already shuffled. I'm doing things more casual for this one. I'm just going to let the cards fall out how they will. I am trying to take, oh, there we go. I was going to say I'm getting 3 cards for their feelings, and 3 cards have come out. They fell on the floor, but there they are. So that's how your person is really feeling about you right there. And I will get 3 cards for how they're acting. We will see what the difference is between the two. We have 1 here. If there is a difference. In pile 2, there really wasn't that much of a difference, but we'll see for you guys what you have going on between these, the actions and the feelings. So 2 more cards, please. And there's our 2. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the 7 of Cups. Someone is being a little bit stagnant in their energy for sure with that coming out. So I'm going to start with their actions to give you an idea if this reading is for you, because you after all know how this person's acting towards you. So, all right, we have the Empress in the center. They are trying to be receptive, and they're also being a little bit difficult when you actually do try to reach out to them. Judgment in the reverse. So they're being pretty harsh with you. This person is being pretty harsh with you. I think that they are a bit judgmental and critical of you. I think that they are acting like they are a bit perfect. With this Empress here, the Empress is very perfect, but this is within their actions. I think they like to take a receptive role in your communications. They want to be the one receiving your energy and attention and maybe even gifts. And they're not very fond of giving back. They're also very critical of you. So you might be giving more and also being criticized more with this, these 2 here. We have overwhelmingly more feminine energy. This does not have to be a feminine person you're thinking about, but this person is taking on sort of a catty role. We have air and earth here. If they're not, if you wouldn't say that it's catty that they're acting as, it could be more that they're acting like they are very principled, and that they are the ones who have the true, like, they're the ones that have the true understanding of, I guess, things in the world, and sort of their opinion is how it is, and anybody with a different opinion is probably wrong because they kind of just know what's up, and they're ready. They can be pretty cutting towards you if they think you've said something wrong, or whether it's abusive. It doesn't show that here. It just shows a tendency for this person to be a little bit difficult to talk to, a little bit difficult to have a conversation with, because they might be argumentative, or they might just be very sort of ready to attack if you say something that they don't really like, or and their an attack can be also a withdrawal, but I don't really get a sense too much that they're withdrawing. It can be like withholding energy is what I mean. An attack can also be just someone withholding their energy and their attention. That's kind of a form of like psychological warfare, kind of. But for most of you, I'm not really getting that. I'm mostly getting, someone being a little bit harsh and difficult, judgmental, and sort of just thinking that their way is correct, and very receptive, not so much giving. So if that's your person, you should probably know that, and so this reading is for you. So moving on, I'll move on to their true feelings. Okay, so all right, we have the 2 of Cups in reverse. This is definitely about, in the upright, it's 2 people who are coming together in a equal capacity. They perceive each other as equals, and they have heart-to-heart conversations, and they're open and honest with each other, and they like having each other's attention, and they honor each other. But here, that's not what we have. We have someone who is very difficult and kind of is on their high horse, who is always right and never wrong, and they don't view you as their equal. We have the Star card here. Interesting. I'm going to just get the other card for a minute. Okay, the Hermit. For their feelings. So I think that they hope that things will change. I think they view you as being very important to them. Oh, I'm going to get a clarifier for this Hermit before I say more. This Hermit card is interesting for being within the place of feelings, because it really just speaks to someone who's not really revealing their feelings. I mean, I think that they might view you as being withdrawn. Yes, so they view you as being withdrawn. We have the Five of Wands in the reverse, showing that someone is avoiding a conflict. I think you're avoiding a conflict. You think that if you reach out to them or try to talk to them, it's not going to end well, and I can see why, given their energy and their behavior. So you really just don't think that talking to them is really a good idea, and based on what I'm seeing here, you might be right about that, at least right now. They definitely view you as being someone who is not reaching out to them and who is just kind of in your own world. And maybe that is something that they're kind of also upset about, is you being avoidant of talking to them, and they might want to have a showdown with you, kind of thing, like they want to have an argument with you, because I think that might be the way that they see things as healing or getting better, is by having just like a fight or an argument, getting it all out of your system, and then having the opposing viewpoints and then moving on. But they really just, they don't see that they're very cutting in the way that they have these, I guess, arguments or these conversations that are more difficult, and the fact that they steamroll and it'll kind of overpower you, and that you find that to just be very unpleasant, and you don't want to do that anymore. So you are being very avoidant of them. But they have a lot of hope that you're going to come, that you will communicate with them at some point, and that you will try to make things work. But I'm going to get a Lover's Oracle card for their feelings, because the Star card is very interesting here. And out has come 2. So we have forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. So you guys have definitely been fighting a lot. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. So they think that, or at least feel that you're being deceptive, or they think that you're not standing like in your true power, or something. Like, it has something to do with how they view you as being, I don't want to say weak, but they think that you're not in your own power right now. Maybe they think you're being controlled by someone or family or something like that. You might be in a family situation where you have a lot of people's opinions, and I think you're trying to take a step back and to figure out yourself and what you think and how you feel. And so you are doing that. Maybe they know that that's what you're doing. Maybe you've communicated that to them, and so they're just kind of waiting. And I think they do hope that things are going to come together between you two in the future. They do seem to very much want that. They see you in their life path, but they definitely don't act like it. But they have a lot of issues with the way you see things, and they seem to think you're stuck in the past. They think that you don't, the way you are within your own mind, this can also be someone's own mind, that you are not very consistent within your own mind, and maybe that you're a little pessimistic. They do love you, though, with the star card here. I'm going to clarifier for the star card, but I mean, being in the feelings position and it's upright, they definitely have strong feelings for you and desire, but they desire for the past to be forgotten. But based on how their actions have been recently, I get why you're having... Okay, and to clarify the star, we have the Ace of Wands coming out. This person definitely feels very passionate about you and very physically, like sexually attracted to you. They feel home when they're with you in a physical sense. So they have a lot of desire to be sort of with you, at least physically, and but not just physically, just sort of like intimately. They have a strong, just like internal, like very deep within them, passion for you. But you guys just aren't coming together, and they seem to view you, and their feelings for you, like deep down, like their passion for you, isn't really reflected in how they view you, which seems to me in more of an argumentative light, or that you are distrustworthy, and that they're gonna have to like forgive you for something. And but you can probably feel that about them too. I'm guessing that there's a lot of mirroring in this situation where you feel like they owe you an apology, and they feel like you owe them an apology, but no one's gonna apologize, and everything is just and so you're retreating. It looks like they're viewing you that way, and if maybe this is reversed, and maybe they're the ones you'll know who's who, but for most of you, it's you that is sort of retreating and trying to find your own, sort of like a new understanding, a new perspective is what you're trying to do. You're focusing on yourself and your own life, and you are kind of retreating. You're trying to avoid any conflict that you think is going to happen. You don't want to be like, have your self-esteem be hurt by this person, which seems to be, I mean, they view themselves in a very good light. I don't think they're seeing how difficult and kind of cutting and that they've been towards you. Yeah, but like I said, there is a lot of love and passion there for you. So I'm not really sure how to rectify that for you guys right now, like what to do. I can't really say, but I will get an advice card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. I did that for pile number 2, and I felt that it was a very good choice in deck and for my decks, and I think it will be for you too. So I'll do that for you. It is, it is like very, I get why you would be drawn to a reading like this, because they are acting so difficult and judgmental and harsh towards you, but they seem to have a lot of passion and desire and hopefulness to somehow be with you in the future. So I'm gonna get some advice for you, just like in your life, on what to do sort of with the pain, that if you've experienced pain within this connection, and since you're in the Hermit vibe, most likely very self-reflective right now, you probably have it looks like you have experienced some harshness from this person, some judgment. So I'm just going to get some advice on what you can do in your own life to make you, to just sort of help with this situation. So we have going forward. Okay, so I'm going to read that. Going forward. Okay. When you receive this card, fertility, productivity, love, health, abundance, and fulfillment are ahead for you. Things are growing and expanding in your life. Keep going forward. Sometimes it may be easy to be distracted by what's occurring around you, but this card indicates that it is important to not let anything hold you back from increasing the bounty in your life. Step up and know that your needs will be taken care of. Your life is escalating and intensifying in the best possible way and for your highest good. Okay. So it seems to be a call to get out of this hermit mode a little bit, if you can kind of get back into the world and at least start being the hermit is very self-reflective, but there's not known to be an energy of creativity. And I'm thinking that it would be beneficial for you to be creative and to kind of live your life strong, passionately, to move forward, as this card says, and just to keep going and to not be, it's not like you have the hangman here indicating that you are completely stagnant in your life while you're trying to work something out. You are still striving in your life a little bit, but with the hermit, you can end up missing out on opportunities because you're a little bit more absorbed in your own self and kind of like self-reflective. You might be reading like some self-help books, things like that. Especially if this person's judgment of you has gotten to you. You might be reading like self-help to try to, because they've made you feel like they've brought out that part of you that feels like not good as you are. And so for some of you, that might be what's going on here. But for a lot of you, you're really just trying to avoid conflict with this person and probably in the world around. You might just be feeling right now like this world is a difficult place to be in, and you just want to avoid any nastiness and but definitely in this connection, you're trying to avoid judgment, and you're trying to avoid any sort of painful dialogue. I'm going to pull one more card for you from Dreams of Gaia deck because I just want to get one more message for you. I'd honestly like to know more about going forward and sort of what advice this deck has for you. Yeah, like what advice this deck has for you in terms of this connection. Now has come to. I'm not surprised that this deck has a lot to say. Ten, and we have a 2 here. Kind of like we have the 2 of Cups. I believe this is a 2 of Swords. This is about like dichotomy and trying to balance the elements. I'm thinking that you view this person as being very different from you. And you might view yourself as being, or, you know, it's kind of interesting because your guys, I think, are probably mirroring each other. I think they view themselves as being completely in the right here, and you're like an issue, but you probably view the same thing about them. And I'm going to read. So we need some balancing out of the energies. We do need some self-reflection, but I'm thinking that what's really going to help you is just to keep moving in life. Keep at least the same momentum you were at before sort of things started dragging you down a little bit. At least the same momentum. Only get in a self-reflective kind of like huddled in your room, like reading self-help books or reading astrology, stuff like that. Only really get into that mode if you really feel like it's deep down that it's going to help you, and not just because you are avoiding things in your life. So you'll have to decide which one you are for that. That's the Ten of Swords. Yes, this is the Ten of Air. I'll read a little bit of this to you. It's a bit long. So the process of individualization leads to becoming oneself, to stepping away from the external forces that we believe define us, to becoming an independent being who recognizes and embraces their own uniqueness and individuality. It is about removing the mask we present to the public so that we are liked and respected and accepted, the face we wear so we fit in and belong. So I'm thinking that I think you're in the process of trying to do this right now. I think you're done trying to be accepted by this person who seems to be quite judgmental of you, and you're trying to just figure out now who you really are, because without who you really are, like kind of more shamelessly, without sort of the internalization of this person's judgment and criticism of you. No longer are our public face and private life very different. We present our face to the world, and if it is not liked, then so be it. It makes us a black sheep in a flock of white sheep. Interesting, because we have the black and white here. The black sheep and the white sheep. This definitely seems to be about a dichotomy of two things that are two very different energies. One, I think this person has painted themselves as being this perfect little angelic person, and you're, you know, like this card says, the black sheep, very different. So I'm guessing that growing up, your family did this as well to you. You might have been the black sheep growing up, and so you ended up meeting someone who sort of made you feel that way as well. We would rather be honest and accepted by the few than to be what family or society expects. Individuation is being, oh, do you notice the light getting much lighter all of a sudden? Because this is about enlightenment, but it's about empowerment. And so the candle flame gets larger when we talk about empowerment. I mean, I make these candles and I infuse energy into them, so they're very interactive with the decks that I use, and you can see them acting different depending on the energy of the reading. Anyways, I'll continue. It is breaking free from caring about what people think of us because we love who we are and what we do with our life. We are free, liberated, because we are not bound by others' opinions of us or our actions, the constraints of society, or the impediments of our past. It is integrating conscious and unconscious, soul and shadow, the masculine and the feminine, and creating a whole where the self resides at the center. No longer does duality separate and divide. All is in harmony and working in unison. You are you, whole, complete, and ever evolving. And that evolution is not a linear process. It is a circumambulatory process of viewing the self and seeing it from multiple perspectives, and accepting and integrating all of the facets and aspects into the whole. No aspect is ugly or beautiful, none good or bad, none worse or better. Each has its place and purpose as part of the beautiful whole. To individuate is to understand paradox, which, like I said, we're seeing here in this card. So the cards are mimicking each other. I was saying dichotomy, but here we have the word paradox. You are forever transformed once the process of your perception is altered. No more are you willing to embrace old paradigms that limit and restrict, that espouse a belief that says you should not or cannot. You move forward to the great mystery with confidence. knowing that even when life occurs, or that when life offers conflict and chaos, when we remain at the center, we have peace. When the Ten of Air appears in your reading, it represents a time in our life that we have chosen to step free of the mask and wear only one face in private and public. No longer do we hide our thoughts, beliefs, or feelings in order to be accepted, liked, or respected. We have turned our back on expectation, convention, mediocrity, normacy, to embrace and accept who we are and stand tall and proud. It is time to separate yourself from the herd and to walk your own path. Step through the doorway and begin a life where new paradigms replace the old, and you are free to be the best you that you can be, instead of the you society tells you that you must be. Okay. So I think that was pretty clear. That's what we are moving towards. I think you are right to avoid this person, despite what passion you might have for them and they for you, and what hope they have for a future with you. I think that if it rings true that this person is pretty critical and that you've actually internalized some of their criticism, and if they might remind you a little bit of someone when you were growing up, of your dad or your mom, who maybe they were critical, maybe they were, and there's also definitely an element of the hyper-religious happening here. You might come from a family that's very religious and definitely have internalized this sort of like this what's okay to do and to think and what's not okay, and then you kind of found that kind of lordship or someone who's going to be making those judgment calls on you once again. So I think if that's what's happening here, I would say you're right to do what you're doing. And it looks like with the Hermit, you are, based on how they are perceiving you, you are, if you haven't already, you are thinking about starting to sort of separate from them and do kind of that work so that you're kind of de-internalize these judgments that people have been making on you in your life, and you decide and redefine who you are based on who you really are, and this by finding lost soul parts, and all that good stuff. So, but in the end, I mean, like we have with forgiveness and to stop focusing your energy on the past, and then here we have going forward. So it's all about that forward energy, keeping things really going for you for as you move forward into the future, and to not allow sort of the past to drag you down so much. I mean, it should be very quick, like you have a thought or a feeling about the past, and if it caused a trauma, you integrate that trauma by acceptance and by just kind of feeling it. And there's a whole process. I like Teal Swan. She's my personal guru because she's very into this process of integration and bringing in these lost soul parts, and then moving forward, not just getting trapped in the past, thinking about it or feeling about it over and over again. There's a process where you integrate it and then you move on. So Teal Swan might be a good, and if you are reading self-help books, like I think some of you are, that's the vibe I'm getting from this card, then Teal Swan has a few books. She has the completion process, which is all about that integration. And so that's what I would recommend if you're into that kind of thing. And if not, then that's cool too. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Okay, so I hope this reading really helped. And if it did, go ahead and hit that like button. This is a new channel for me, and I really appreciate you watching. And I'm just starting to build my channel, and you can also watch your monthly reading that I do for each sign, and I'm going to be doing more pick a card readings as well. So yeah, I hope you I mean, I guess this reading wasn't like super lovey-dovey type thing. I mean, it's a little more intense, but I hope that it helped, and and I wish you the best, okay? Till next time.